Hello, my name is Dr. Farzana Hafizullah, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Dr. H. Join me and my special guests as we make incredibly tasty dishes from across the Caribbean with a healthy twist. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Dr. Hafizullah, and welcome to In the Kitchen with me, Dr. H. Well, I'm so excited again to have you back in the kitchen. Today we have some amazing dishes lined up for you, and a special thank you to our exclusive Season 2 sponsor, Aetna. As you know, on this show, we are putting a healthy twist on the Caribbean traditional dishes that we grew up with. We are all about promoting health and wellness, staving off diabetes, heart disease, stroke, obesity in our Caribbean community. But we can do this together. We can enjoy and embrace our culture and all of the flavor and the fun that comes with it, without compromising our health. And today we're going to show some of those small changes. So, of course, I'm extra excited because today is the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. And our dishes today is going to feature that. We have a Cuban style black bean soup I'm going to tell you about, and we have another dish as well. But my guest today as well is from Cuban descent. And I had the honor of meeting her recently at a Wonder Woman event when I was a panelist. And she actually received an award. So, all the more to hear about that in just a few minutes, and I'd like you please to go on our website, www.nsucaribbeanhealth.com. We have all of the recipes there. We've got videos and information. Feel free to dive in and engage with us. We want to see you present. All right, so everybody, what's on the menu today? What are we cooking today? Well, I already gave you the first one, right? We are cooking a Cuban style stovetop version of a black bean soup. And we're pairing that with a non-alcoholic Piña Colada. Well, are you excited to cook with me? Well, before we start cooking, you're going to hear about my incredible guest, Alexandra Lugo. She is the president and founder of the Children's Charity. She's also part of Nova Southeastern University, where I'm from as well, I was in the Department of Internal Medicine in the College of Osteopathic Medicine, but Alexandra, as part of the President's 64 Club, she is actually one of the student ambassadors and works directly with the president of the university as an advisor of sorts. So Alexandra, welcome.
Hi, it's such a pleasure to be with you today.
I'm excited to have you on board. Your resume is so long, it's very difficult to do it justice, okay? So please tell our audience today a little bit more about yourself and what your passion is for the Children's Charity.
Thank you so much. I am the president and founder of the 501c3 nonprofit, the Children's Charity. Like Dr. H said, I'm also a student at NSU and in the healthcare world, so I do get a lot of exposure to some of the preventative medicine we're going to be talking about today. My work in the Children's Charity is centered around working with kids in hospitals that unfortunately are suffering from chronic diseases. My work is centered around providing these kids some happiness, some acts of kindness, connecting younger students with these kids in order for them to spread some hope and give them a nice message, help them during this time of need. So far, we've hosted over 11 projects and raised over $70,000 for these families.
That's amazing. Well, you are just simply incredible. And talking about chronic diseases and making these children's lives and their families' life, giving them a ray of light and hope, putting kindness, empathy, and compassion into this work. We applaud you. And we're so excited you're actually on the eight-year track. Isn't that right? The DO MBA program. Isn't that correct? At NSU. Right?
Yes.
So are you ready to dive in and cook with me, Alexandra?
I am. I'm ready.
I'm sure you grew up eating some of the Cuban style black bean soup. You are of Cuban heritage, right? So feel free to correct me along. Well, let's start with our oil. You have avocado oil on your side, right? And I have olive oil on my side. So let's just go ahead and our hot pan. Let's make sure our pan is a little bit hotter than, let's say a little bit more like medium high heat. And then put your oil in there. Let's a little bit hot. Using a non-stick pan over here, so I don't have to worry about using too much oil. And then that gets a little warm. As you know, Alexandra, the sofrito, right? That is the base of this dish, and actually the base of many of the dishes that you grew up with. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. That's what gives it that Cuban flavor.
That's right. Well, now that that oil looks a little bit hot, I know that we've been preheating our pans. Let's go ahead and start to sweat some of the onions. Let's add some onions in. Oh, you can hear the sizzle on this side. Oh, yes. Onions are going to release a little bit of moisture. And I'm going to use a nice wooden spoon to stir that around a little bit.
This is when the house starts to smell.
Exactly. Don't you love it? I wish our audience can smell this. We're going to add a little bit of garlic on top of that. And while that's sort of cooking together, we're going to chop up some of our peppers because that's the last part of the sofrito. So I'm going to take some strips of green and red peppers. Do you have yours already chopped on your side, Alexandra?
Yes, both of ours are chopped.
I'm going to chop up here on camera. Use any color red peppers that you have. I've got yellows and oranges, but we're sticking to the green and the red. Fresh cut best. I always keep peppers around the house. And at the end, you're going to see that we're going to add some of the smoked versions of this, or the roasted versions. All right, we're going to just go ahead and add the peppers in as well at this point. Oh, you're right about that. Look at those beautiful colors.
So we could also use the canned ones if we rinse them off well. The roasted canned or in the glass.
That is a great point. If you use the canned peppers that don't really have much salt in them, those are roasted. A lot of times it's roasted, and that roasted flavor adds some additional smokiness. It's so delicious. This is our sofrito cooking down. And we're going to add some of the other spices in there just to let it sort of meld in with our sofrito. Are you ready, Alexandra?
Yes, so I have here some oregano, some cumin, paprika, and bay leaves.
That's exactly what we're going to add. Oh, we're going to add the oregano, the cumin, and that smoked paprika. We're going to leave the bay leaves till the very end once we have a little bit of liquid. But the smoked paprika is amazing because you don't need like the smoked meats or the ham hocks or any of those other salty, fatty meats in there. You get such great flavor. I'm going to mix that up a little bit in there. You notice that we did not add any salt so far because we don't need it just yet, right?
I was just going to note that we're not using any salt, which is a great alternative. The paprika helps with that.
And you know, I also have some fresh oregano leaves here. I find that, you know, as the black bean soup is cooking, you rip up some of these fresh oregano leaves and put it in there and it just boosts the flavor even more.
Yes.
So
beautiful garnish as well.
Exactly. And the black beans that we chose, right? That they are either, mine has no salt in it, and I think yours is all low salt. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Well, now I think we're ready to go ahead and add in these black beans. Add some of the black beans in. Give that a little bit of a stir. Now, we drained these black beans ahead of time. If these were the canned ones, we were doing this stovetop style. Or you can take the dried beans and soak them overnight and follow our recipe online for that. Now, don't worry if things get mashed up because we want it to get a little thickness to it, right? And now we're going to add our vegetable broth on top of that, Alexandra, to just enough of a consistency that you like. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little stir. How's it going on your side, Alexandra?
Yes?
How are you?
So we're going well. I was just going to note that growing up, my grandma would always add some malanga to this, so it thickens up the consistency.
That is a great point. We could do that. And my mom, I remember when we would make our split pea dal, which is very similar to this, we would just basically mash some of the beans against the side of the inside of the pan. And that's going to be our technique today. We don't need any fancy immersion blender. we've got our wooden spoon.
Yes.
Right? And so just add enough of the stock in there. You can add some more if you'd like. And again, this stock is a low salt stock. And I think at this point we can put in a little bit of black pepper. Turn the heat up maybe just a little bit more here. Let's make sure we have enough heat. And I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. In your house, Alexandra, do you add vinegar at the end or vinegar at all in this dish?
We add a little bit of vinegar, but one of the things that we use in a lot of our dishes is cooking wine, traditional red, like Hispanic cooking wine.
Ah, that is another great option, by the way. You're leaning on such deep flavors, you really will not miss any sugar, you will not miss any salt at all. So now we're gonna let that hang out. I'm gonna actually close the lid. I think we got everything that we needed so far. At the end is when you add the vinegar. I'm gonna let that just sort of simmer and cook. Now something else, I know that you've got the peppers in a jar over there, is that right?
Yes, we do.
What I'm going to do as an alternative for our viewers, I'm just going to brush some fresh peppers, some olive oil, and I'm just going to grill it right here on the stovetop as just another option. And this could also be a topper for our soup, you know, using this fresh roasted pepper. So I'm just going to put a couple on here, just sort of coating it with a little bit of olive oil. That's it. Making sure that you can see all those pretty colors on there. And at this point, let's make our avocado topper. You ready?
Sounds good.
Fabulous. So take a nice, small, ripe avocado. And now you're an expert at this. I mean, you and I grew up with all sorts of avocado dishes, right? What are some of the dishes you grew up with that featured avocado?
So for us, it's more of a side dish. So I cannot tell you of a Cuban household that does not have an avocado tree somewhere. It's very traditional to always, with your dish, have a small plate with perhaps some red sliced tomatoes and some avocado sliced as a side dish. Very, very common.
Absolutely. Well, it's when doing the Caribbean health research, I realized that the term we use in Trinidad for our mashed avocado dish, we call it zabuca, is actually the Haitian Creole term for avocado.
Wow.
You know, I realized that there is so much integration among our islands. It's incredible. And so,
yes, definitely.
Yeah. So together celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with you today, I absolutely love it. So I just sort of diced up some of my avocado, just a little bit, and I'm going to do the other side right now. It's just in the skin itself, I just go ahead and cube it right here. Do you do the same thing, or is there another technique that you use?
So this one was already off the seed, but we do the whole slice. So we cut out the whole slice and maybe sometimes cut it into cubes and serve it in that little side dish.
I love it. That's amazing. But what I'm going to do here is add a little bit of lemon juice to it. Do you have a lemon over there?
Yes, we have some squeezed lime juice, actually. Lime juice is more common.
Lime. You can even put some lime zest in there if you wanted to. You know, that even elevates the flavor more. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lime juice over the top here. Just need a little bit here just to keep the nice freshness and keep it from turning color. Right? And you can actually top this with a little bit of black pepper if you like, and a touch of salt. This is where the salt can come in. And also, of course, your garnishes will also have just a touch of salt. So this is just a little avocado topper right here. And I'm keeping an eye on the peppers. Now, while the peppers are roasting, while the soup is cooking away, do you want us to get ready to make our pineapple or piña colada?
Yes, very excited.
Awesome. All right, let's put our avocado to the side. And let's get ready to make the. So tell me what you grew up drinking. What were some of the things? Like I had my Sundays, my mom would make green tea, a big pot of green tea. We drank a lot of like freshly squeezed, you know, juices and vegetable juices. So what are the kind of things that you grew up with?
So it can't go without saying a lot of Cuban coffee.
Of course.
Definitely a lot of Cuban coffee. But on the healthier side of things, my population really enjoys having natural fruit trees, traditional fruit that we used to have in Cuba. So some of the things that I grew up drinking were actually homemade juices and smoothies from the fruits in our backyard. So this was like a family activity. We would go out, we would tend to our garden, and we would come in and prepare those juices. And we would always opt for, this gave us the option, of course, to not use sugar or use stevia as an option, or like a more natural source of sugar, perhaps like honey, to prepare these juices. And it was always a tradition at my grandma's house to get these done every time all my cousins came over.
I love and food is family for us, you know? You just made me think of all the memories growing up. You're talking about having fruit from your backyard. That's exactly the way we grew up, having our own vegetables and herbs grown right there. I mean, you could taste the deep flavors. It's incredible. So right now we have our fresh pineapple, right? And to that, we're going to add just enough. I have a no preservative coconut almond milk creamer here that has a little vanilla infused in it. So everybody, read your labels carefully. Make sure it has no added sugar, and look for the sodium or the salt. And 8 ounces of this only has about 50 calories, which is amazing. And we're not adding any kind of sugar. We are leading on the strength of that pineapple sweetness, right?
Yes, now, it's also a low-fat option.
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to do at this point is put on our lid over here, get a little bit noisy with our blender. Here we go. And oh my gosh, look at that. Best Piña Colada. You don't miss any kind of alcohol with this. Look how creamy and delicious this is. No condensed milk, no evaporated milk, no sugar needed. Right? Are you ready?
Doing my Piña Colada over here.
Woo, run those engines, right?
Yes.
And here we go. We're going to pour some out. I have a glass. Oh, that's beautiful. That is garnished with a nice pineapple. Oh my gosh, Alexandra. Let's get ready to talk some more, but we've got to taste our creation here, right? So once you've poured it out, just let me know, okay? I'm smelling the creaminess of this. I'm smelling the freshness of the pineapple. I can smell the black bean soup cooking. The peppers are roasting away over here. Oh, what excitement in this kitchen. Right?
Yes, definitely. It's starting to smell like home.
Are you ready to give a little toast off?
Yes.
Just to the beginning of our again, and I want to welcome you to our show. It's just so incredible to have you here, and I want to hear more from you, okay? So tell me about why healthy eating and active living is good for you after we take our sip. So good. Delicious. Oh, isn't that good?
It still has all the sweetness, but in a healthier way.
Look at that. You don't miss anything else, right, from that. You don't miss the alcohol. You don't need any sugar. So why is healthy eating and active living, and why is this project important to you? Everybody, I want to share with you that Alexandra is also part of our Caribbean Diaspora Initiative team. She's one of my student leaders. And actually, I mentioned before that I met her at a Wonder Woman event at NSU. And since that time, she's not only stayed engaged and committed and shows her passion in this work, but it has been an inspiration for many. So tell me why this is important to you, Alexandra.
So I'm a big believer in food being medicine. I think that what you put into your body and how you treat your body is how your body treats you. And food, it really is the beginning of your health journey. Preventative medicine is something that's really important to me. And I see in the clinic, and I see with my family and my friends, myself, that what you eat is how you feel. So it's really important to me to make sure that we are eating healthy and putting our health first, but also preserving our cultural traditions and the meals we love, the meals that remind us of our grandmothers. So it's really important to me, this project, in order to really combine my interests with working with the Caribbean population, with also healthy eating, and also preserving cultural traditions.
Absolutely. You said it all in a perfect nutshell there. This is all about exactly celebrating the diversity and the richness of our Caribbean community, our Caribbean culture. We're super excited, of course, to feature Cuba today, feature our Hispanic Heritage Month and all the Latin dishes. So let me know if there is anything else from your own background as a personal story, perhaps, you can share why some of these recipes that are the same recipes you grew up with, just with small twists, why you think that this might be embraced, or what a younger generation, you being the younger generation, what you can do to promote health and wellness in the Caribbean community.
I think our health, my generation, the younger population, is really in charge of not only leading our world to more education, to preventative medicine, to health education and spreading the word, but also to make sure that our traditions and our family is still alive within us. And this project really mixes both together, which is absolutely incredible. Just carrying our knowledge and using, like you do, social media and our teams and our varied skills to put this knowledge out and share with the older population and our friends, our colleagues. All this knowledge is really important. Um, Growing up, and also my experiences now, I've seen how not prioritizing your health and not prioritizing the meals you eat can really damage your health. So it's really important to me to show others that with these tiny changes, you could still eat your cultural foods we're all used to eating, but also watching out for things like diabetes and heart disease.
That's right. I mean, that's music to my ears as an internal medicine doctor, promoting disease prevention, right? We know that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So if we could stop that process in its tracks, great. We will have our quality of life. We can spend more time with our families. We can enjoy just life. And a lot of times when I'm cooking with my family, we always have music in the background. I remember growing up, my father was best friends. His best friend was from Cuba, and we would go to their house for Christmas. And now it's so funny, while we don't eat pork, he loved seeing the look on my dad's face when he took him to the backyard and showed a whole roasted pig in the backyard. And then Mimi's foods, the paella, everything else that she made was incredible. So I only have the best memories. And of course, we went to medical school down at the University of Miami. And my gosh, we have the very best Cuban food, the very best Hispanic cuisine over there. So it's beautiful that we all kind of share each other's cultural traditions and celebrate them together. Don't you think?
It is, and it's very true. As we get older, our lives get a lot busier, and I found that the time to really connect with my family and talk about our days and ask us how we're doing really is our time in the kitchen. It's a great time to spend with your family, spend with friends, and share with each other.
Don't you smell the black bean soup? Isn't it talking to us?
Yes,
I think it's time to give it a stir. What do you think?
yes, yes.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Now let me show everyone if we can get some of that steam out of the way for you. Look how delicious this is. And at this point, Alexandra, all of the, as you know, the sofrito is cooking down beautifully. We're going to mash, we're going to actually press our wooden spoon up against the back of the pot and just, get it a little bit thicker consistency. Just depends on if you like it a little bit more chunkier. What do you think, Alexandra? Do you prefer a little bit more of a chunky soup or the smooth?
So traditionally for us, this is served over rice.
Uh-huh.
So usually it's a little bit on the thinner side, but my family's a little bit of a rule. We're all a little bit of rule breakers, and we love to eat it on its own. So we do opt for that thicker option. Like I told you before with the malanga, it's a common practice.
And speaking of malanga, what we're going to do at the very end here, instead of us actually putting malanga in the soup, I have some sort of air fried strips of plantain, malanga, yam, some sweet potato, lots of beautiful vegetables that are surrounding our bowl where the soup will be placed. And this is a wonderful option. You could use it almost like a dip with the soup, or crunch up some of those air fried plantain strips and put them on top. Or at the very end, Alexandra and I are going to actually place our avocado with diced avocado right on top, and sprinkle a little bit of cilantro on top. So you got all these. We have to read our labels so carefully, you know. Before we plate, because I want to give our audience an opportunity to kind of see what we're doing here, and to make sure that the soup has a little bit of extra time here. Try to cook down a little bit. And of course, this is a quick TV version for everybody. Most of the time, this ends up slow cooking, right? Isn't that right, Alexandra? Because we're using dried beans.
Yes, definitely. It's with a pressure cooker. That's usually the way that we do this.
So while this is cooking down, what other words of wisdom do you have for your generation, or even our generation, anyone out there, you know, any messages that you want to send from the work that you're doing?
I think for the younger generation, I think it's important to older generations and friends to transmit to them that they have an incredible power, that you do not have to be older to start and putting your thoughts and your ideas into action. I think you could start at any age. And I think if we just empower each other, motivate each other to know that we can really do anything we put our minds to, and really change and challenge some of the ideas, not just in healthcare, but in our social world, I think we can make an incredible difference. I think kids now than ever have so much access to information. And if we use that information for good, and we let each other know that we could use that information to create accessibility and create sort of access to information for those that did not have it growing up, we can make incredible change. We could use social media to spread healthcare information. We could use it to share resources, and we could definitely make our voices heard and our thoughts heard, and promote some lasting change in our world.
That's beautiful said, Alexandra. You are not just the future, you are the present, you know? And this message is not only inspiring and empowering. We come together as a community, we can make each other healthy. And again, I'm going to recap everybody. Now, during the time, just now, the black bean soup was just about ready to be plated. So I'm just going to put it right here on camera for everyone to see. So go ahead and start your dish over there, Alexandra. Let's see if I can get this to shift out a little bit so you can see it. We're going to top it with a little bit of the fresh avocado. And then we're going to get some cilantro also on the top. You can also add the apple cider vinegar as well, if you'd like at this point. And then just with a little bit of kitchen shears, or you can just rip a cilantro leaves just right over the top. And I just want to recap a little bit of some of the small changes that we made today for this dish. So let's first talk about the black bean soup. What did we do today for the black bean soup? Well, instead of canned beans with added salt, we ended up using a no salt set of beans and ensured that we read what the sodium level was. Instead of using any kind of flavoring cubes or any salted broth, we made sure that we checked the sodium level or the salt level on the broth and diluted it with water if needed, okay? We did not add any extra salt. And instead of any preserved or smoked meats, instead of using the fat and the flavoring from that, we lean on smoked paprika. Instead of any very, heart unhealthy butters and other fats, we ended up using extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil, or a combination thereof. And of course, remember your garnishes. Make sure they're grilled, they're baked, they're air fried, they're broiled, or fresh cut, like our avocado today. And what about the beautiful piña colada that we made? What are some of the small changes we made there? Well, first, of course, as you know, it's non-alcoholic. And instead of using any kind of heavy cream, condensed milk, or evaporated milk, or any kinds of sugars, we used vanilla-infused coconut and almond creamer that was without any preservatives in it. And of course, we used no canned fruit in heavy syrup, no sweetened juice. We used fresh cut pineapple. I actually grow pineapples in my backyard. It's so easy to grow. And we did not need any alcohol for this dish. So Alexandra, are you ready to show me your bowl of black bean soup?
Yes.
Let's see what you have ready, because together you have this. Here's oh, that's beautiful. You did amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to come over and taste yours. We're going to have to switch homes and taste test, right? And let's
Yes.
just see, I'm going to show our audience on this side our black bean soup with the air fried chips, air fried plantain strips, and of course, Alexandra, we have our beautiful Piña Colada. Well, again, I'm so excited to have had you as a guest today. I am looking forward to all the amazing things not only you're going to do, but that we're going to do together, because I'm incredibly excited to have you in our Caribbean Diaspora team. Everybody, please again go on our website, nsucaribbeanhealth.com, and another very big thank you to our exclusive season 2 sponsor, Aetna. To everybody, we want to wish you good health and long life. Please join us again for the next show on the third Thursday.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. H.
My pleasure. Bye, everyone.